All right, what is up, you guys? I am here with a very special SummerSlam review, continuing my SummerSlam series with my special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is WWE Rocker MCK.
She's a YouTuber. Her link will be in the description. She was kind of on a lengthy hiatus, and she's back now making videos, so link will be in the description. She's been on the channel before. So, yeah, we're going to be reviewing SummerSlam 2013. One of the few pay-per-views I actually have on Blu-ray. Don't really know why, but I do. So, what are your overall thoughts on this show? And we'll give a letter grade at the very end. We can both come up with one.
This show had a really rocky start with the Ring of Fire match that everyone needs to erase from life. But it ended with a fantastic Daniel Bryan John Cena match, and of course Randy Orton cashing in to really just nail in that yes movement that was going on during the time.
And you had CM Punk and Brock Lesnar was probably like on the same level as the main event. We had two solid matches, and we did even have a good match with Christian and Del Rio. And, that was a good match for what it was, because I'm not really the biggest Del Rio fan. But
I think Christian's title run could have been a little better, because it was mainly Del Rio faced. But he did have a good job at least trying to pull through as many matches as he could with Del Rio.
Yeah, I love Christian. He's one of my all-time favorites. Edge and Christian's my all-time favorite tag team. So, even that was a really good match for the World Heavyweight title. And that title was actually on its way out. TLC later that year, it was unified. So it's kind of the last days of the World Heavyweight Championship, which is my favorite belt. I love the big gold belt. That classic, WCW title.
You just like all the older titles.
I just love older wrestling, period. Because that title didn't look like a cartoon.
Not true. Hey, the North American Championship looks beautiful, though.
Oh, I know. Yeah, no, it's great. I think all the NXT titles look really good. But, Bray Wyatt and Kane, the Discount Inferno match. And this was actually Bray Wyatt's debut. So, what did you think of Bray Wyatt's character when he first appeared? What were your first reactions of Bray Wyatt?
When he first appeared, I thought that this character had a lot of potential to go forward as kind of this creepy cult leader. We still didn't really know a lot about him at the time. And if his debut match was as impactful as the promos leading in, then maybe his career would have went somewhere other than losing every rivalry he was ever in. This match really did not set the tone well for his career. The match overall was kind of forgetful, and no one really was that set on fire even at the end.
Yeah, well, it's the PG era, so you're not going to have somebody, you're not going to have MVP running around like his back on fire.
That would have been nicer.
Yeah, true.
Going into the promos, it really made you think that someone was legitimately going to be caught on fire for most of their body.
Yeah, I get, what was the rules? They, whoever just gets thrown out of the ring? Thrown
Yeah, I think that's what they changed it to. I think you had to, touch the fire on your way out of the ring. They re-changed the entire rules of the match. It kind of set his career off on a bad note, because it was a bad match. At that point, Kane was kind of teeter-tottering with being someone who's on the pay-per-views and also just kind of being away for a couple months. So it wasn't the best rivalry to start with.
Yeah, I mean, Kane and Bray Wyatt, obviously their characters mesh really well. But I wasn't a fan of when Kane came back with the mask. Because, I love, 97, 98 Kane. Even, early 2000s. But once they took the mask off of him, I think you got to keep it off. You can't really just put it back on and expect to have the magic that you had when he first made his debut. But it is what it is. And I think we should mention the Dean Ambrose-Rob Van Dam kickoff match for the United States Championship.
And as you say, the reason why both of them are not in the company anymore.
Yeah, that's a really good match. If you gave that, a good 20 minutes, I love both of them. So you could really put on a good match there.
I mean, this was back when pre-show actually had meaning, and you wanted to make sure that you had the pay-per-view up and running before it started. Nowadays, we're getting pre-show matches that we normally see on Raw or SmackDown, and this time we're getting a title on the line by two amazing wrestlers that was somehow forgotten on the main card.
Yeah, instead we had the Ring of Fire match.
I mean, Rob Van Dam's career once he came back never really went anywhere to begin with, so that was a pretty good sign why he was on Kickoff.
Yeah, I was excited when he came back at Money in the Bank that year. Like, I was really excited for that because, you know, he had his TNA run before that, which was just kind of so-so.
Yeah, he was just kind of there for the company, really.
Yeah, it just kind of felt like he wanted a paycheck. And, you know, I think when he came back here, he really wanted to give it one last hurrah, and it just didn't work out because he was gone, I think, a year after that, or maybe even a little longer.
I don't even think his run lasted a year when he came back, if that.
Yeah, it probably was.
I mean, all his matches with Del Rio would be a good part of that reason.
Oh, those were phenomenal.
Oh, yes, Del Rio picking up the main event of every pay-per-view for like 2 years straight.
Yeah, there you go. But, you know, then we had Brock Lesnar and CM Punk. You know, this was a phenomenal match. I believe it was no DQ. And, you know, I've always said Brock Lesnar, you know, not many people like him as a person. But when he wants to, he can put on a damn good match.
Yeah, this was after Brock Lesnar kind of made his SummerSlam return after last year and he faced Triple H. That match was overall a pretty good match to begin with. So now he had to follow it up with another big match in 2013. I think picking CM Punk was a good choice, although the way it ended, I can see in a standpoint how both of them just neither win or neither lost. It didn't hurt Punk's career, but it also didn't help Brock Lesnar, who was supposed to be this huge dominant force, even though CM Punk was kind of 1 foot out of the company already.
Yeah, he was kind of clocking out. But, you know, he still gave it his all, and this was a great match. And even like at WrestleMania 29 with Taker, that's the only good match on that show. So
I kind of wish that had a definite winner or loser, because it felt like, honestly, the way Brock was coming back, he should have been put over in that match, especially with CM Punk leaving immediately after. It kind of made no sense for neither of them to win.
Well, they didn't expect CM Punk to leave because, you know, he really just walked out of the company. He was expected to face Triple H at WrestleMania 30.
Knowing hindsight, Brock should have won, but at that moment.
Yeah. I mean, it just kind of sucks watching, like, CM Punk's, like, last year of wrestling. Because, obviously, I'm a huge CM Punk fan. I got the tattoo. It's the channel logo. You know, I'm a huge CM Punk fan. And it's just kind of sad to watch these last few matches, especially this one, because it was so good. Like, you know, it just, and I think it says something. You know, he was on his way out, but he could still put on a really good match.
And he's making a return to wrestling with Starrcade or Starrcast 3, which is coming up in like a couple months.
Yeah, he's doing the signing for that.
So hey, maybe we'll see him in AEW soon or some kind of promotion. This is his first kind of foot back into the wrestling world.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm never going to say he's coming back or not at this point. You know, if it happens, it happens. Then cool. You know, I'd love to see him back. I don't even care where he shows up at this point. But yeah, then we have, of course, the main event. Daniel Bryan versus John Cena. And he was handpicked by John Cena as his challenger for the WWE title. And this ended up being a really good match. And the reason why Daniel Bryan won is because, obviously, Cena had that huge knot in his elbow, which was like a baseball.
Oh, yeah. And that, learning through Total Divas that he actually wasn't really even cleared to wrestle that night, and that his elbow could have popped at any moment. Then going back and watching that match and seeing all the stuff he did really adds even more intensity to it.
That's a phrase you don't hear very often, learning from Total Divas.
You learned some stuff from that show, not a lot,
yeah.
but some.
Is that still even on? I know Total Bellas is still on.
Yes, they actually both got renewed for more seasons.
Awesome. I'll be sure
I watch them loyally every single time they're on.
I'll be sure to take work off for that one. But yeah, this match was great. Easily like a 4.5-star match. And it was a clean win. And you have to give John Cena. Obviously, he was injured at the time, but for him to put Daniel Bryan over still, it's great. It was great to see, and the fans loved it. And then afterwards, of course, we have that giant moment, which I actually really liked this because it really set up the next 6 months of storyline.
Yeah, Randy Orton cashing in.
Yeah.
And especially because even going into that, you may have had the mindset, oh, maybe he'll cash in. But with Triple H kind of being on Daniel Bryan and John Cena's side at that moment, I think, honestly, to me, it was a shock that Randy Orton cashed in. I honestly did not see the cash in coming that night. Much as they celebrated his win with the confetti and everything, and then the cash in happened, that was a good swerve on the fans.
Oh, I love that. I knew the cash in could probably happen. I just didn't know Triple H was going to have the heel turn. Giving Daniel Bryan the pedigree and the confetti. I loved every second of this ending. And, you have Randy Orton, of course, becoming the new champion. It's even spoiler cover there for you. But
yeah. You got to love when they spoil the whole pay-per-view on the front cover.
It really only bothers me when they do it for the Rumble. Like, that's the one match of the year. Let's not ruin it.
Well, at that point, by the time the DVD comes out, you obviously know who won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, because I get a lot of people that complain about spoilers. I'm like, well, this pay-per-view happened a month ago. But if it's for the Rumble, that one I do understand. I'd rather have, a bunch of wrestlers on it, But
yeah, I think the covers for the Big Four pay-per-view should not have spoilers on it.
Exactly.
Those are ones that even casual fans definitely buy on DVD or going to watch at some point.
Yeah. But overall, what would you give this as a letter grade?
I would give it either an A- or B+. I'm kind of teeter-tottering on both of them just because there was a couple downfall matches in it. But the 2 5-star, well, close to 5-star matches that happened really boosted the entire show.
I'd give it an A. I really would. And if it wasn't for the Ring of Fire match, to be honest, maybe it would get the A+. I don't know. But
I think that and the Del Rio match is kind of the only reason why I wasn't sure if I want to give a solid A, just because you do have 2 matches that really didn't live up to SummerSlam as a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, still very enjoyable show. If I'm going to go back and watch a modern SummerSlam, this is the one I'm going to do.
Especially the ending. That is one of the best endings to SummerSlam. It makes sense. It leads all the way up to WrestleMania, and you really didn't see it coming. So I think it was a great lead off halfway through the year.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. A, even A for me, A-, B+ for you. Definitely check this pay-per-view out. And if you get a chance, check out her channel. It's going to be in the description. Any final words?
Go subscribe to my channel. It's WWE Rocker MCK. I will be back making videos very soon. And make sure you stay in touch with the DVD Freak because he is an awesome dude and makes great videos.
All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been the DVD Freak.
And WWE Rocker MCK.
Peace out.